Hello there, this is Jennie, Designs with Paper. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I have an art journal video for you, so get comfy and let's get crafty. I am working from the Mission Inspiration Mid-Month Mini Mission for June 2022. The randomly selected letter was J, and some inspiration words are jewel, jeans, jelly, jade, and gem. Now, I didn't get them all in this month, but I did kind of a quirky thing with it, so let's get going. As always, I am beginning with a piece of mixed media paper that is about 5.5 by 8.5 inches. Sorry, forgot to silence my phone. I am going to adhere a piece of art journal scrapbook paper with some matte medium and a 2-inch chip brush that I picked up at the dollar store. I'm going to go ahead and slop that on there with my chip brush and make sure I have kind of a thick coat because this is a thicker scrapbook paper. Now, I could have used just the green paper, but the mixed media paper, that's what it is, mixed media paper, already has the holes punched in it, so I don't have to worry about trying to figure that part out. So yeah, it's just easier, and it is my habit to go ahead and just start with that mixed media paper. It can take a lot of water, it can take a lot of liquid adhesive, it can take a lot of extra weight, so I just start there always. So yeah, once I have this paper down, I am going to go ahead and put a coat of gel medium over the top. Again, not sure that was necessary given the thickness of this paper, but whatever. I do need to have a non-porous surface to work on later, so it's a good step. I did flip this page over and make sure I had the edge and the corners adequately adhered. It seems like every time I think I've gotten them just right, I have a couple of corners that need a little bit extra. So I'm going to go ahead and peel that top corner up and go along that side where the green paper is just a tad bit wider and add some gel medium just to make sure that my pages are not lifting apart. Again, this is mostly because my dark green paper is a thicker paper than the scrapbook paper I normally use. I am going to go ahead and heat set this with my heat gun. And once it is dry, I will flip it over and heat set the reverse side as well. And then through the magic of editing, you do not have to watch me trim down and prepare the page for the next step. So here again is my inspiration card. And I obviously have hit the jade. I don't know if technically this is the color jade, but I'm going with it. And I wanted to do something a little bit cheeky. So I chose Jewel because hello, Jewel, right? Songwriter, singer, Jewel. But I also chose Jewel. And then I couldn't resist the idea of jewel on a jewel in jeans. So let's see how we get that. I have found all these pictures on the internet. The jeans and the jewel were just a free picture. The picture of Jewel the singer, I kind of downloaded off the internet. I'm not selling this. This is just for my own personal use. So hopefully that doesn't get me in too much trouble with the Creative Commons people. But yeah. It was in a free online magazine, the image was. So I'm kind of hoping that that is a little bit less ugly than me stealing somebody's artwork. I don't know. I try really hard to only use images that are out there for free use. Yeah, anyway. So I am going to adhere my pictures with some gel medium. And I want to make it look like this green jewel is wearing those jeans. So I am sliding the jewel down into the waistband of the jeans. And I did size this on my computer, so I knew that it would fit. I just had to line it up. And then I will go ahead and add a layer of gel medium over the top. This is printed on just a regular 24-pound copy paper or with my Canon inkjet printer. Cheapo printer, I think it cost me $25 or $30 at Walmart. The ink cost more than the printer did. Yeah, story of my life. In my house, in my office, we use a laser printer, a color laser printer, but sometimes the toner smears when I put gel medium and liquid medium over the top of it. So I have this little cheapo inkjet printer to use for when I'm printing off collage items. All right, so now that I have a layer of gel medium, there is one other element I want to add to my page before I go ahead and dry that off with my heat tool, and that is my chipboard letter J. So some time ago, I found this stash of chipboard letters in my office. I was rearranging and cleaning during our spring break back in March, And since then, I have added a letter to the page. But I've also gone back to the pages I did before I found those chipboard letters and added them to the pages from those mid-month mini missions as well. Just because, for fun. It's in my stash. I have it. I'm going to use it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and heat set this with my heat gun. It did take a little bit, especially around that J, because I got it kind of thick with the gel medium there. It probably would have been easier to dry and less gloppy if I had just used some liquid glue on the back of that J, but whatever, it is what it is, and I did what I did. Kind of soften it up a little bit there in the corner, and we're going to move on. And the first thing I need to do now is to punch the holes in my page. So I flip that page over so that I can see the holes and line them up with my hole punch, and voila. I have this massive heavy-duty hole punch that I purchased on Amazon because my other one was starting to kind of, die. It was older than some of my children. Okay, so for some detail work, I have pulled out the Faber-Castell pit pins that my husband purchased for me for Mother's Day. I've selected a green, a blue, and a brown, and I am just going to go through with a damp baby wipe and these pit pins and add some shading or shadowing or whatever you want to call it. I'm kind of using the green on the jewel and both on the shadow or on the side under the guitar and along the sides where it's kind of raw paper and along the top of the waistband of the jeans. This baby wipe I'm using is barely wet, so it is not putting too much water on the India ink. So it's just kind of blending it in, not so much smearing it out. You know, sometimes if you get too much water in that ink, it wipes it all away or smears it out too much. And I really am just trying to add some, I say natural shading, but come on, there's nothing natural about Jewel sitting on a Jewel wearing jeans. All right, so then let's just keep moving on here. I am just going back and forth, adding a little bit more where I think it should be darker. I suppose that I could have used brown on the entire page, but whatever. I wanted to use green because green is my favorite. I like all the colors of green. There's not one shade of green I don't like, except maybe chartreuse, and even that has its place in my color family. So green is like my best thing. I am then taking the blue pit pen around these jeans. You can see there's kind of a white line. I didn't cut them very well when I was trimming them out, so I'm kind of trying to blend that white edge of the paper away. Probably should have cleaned that up a little bit better before I glued it down, but it is what it is. I did what I did, and we're moving on. It's not exactly the same color blue as the pants, and I think I have a big brush pen that is a little bit darker blue that probably would have worked as well, but it's okay. And then I'm taking the brown, and I'm going around the outside edge of Jewel the Singer and around her guitar. There's also some places on the guitar that needed a little bit of attention. I trimmed them badly. Let's just go with it. I trimmed them badly. I kind of cut off some piece of that guitar neck. That's the word for it. Kind of cut it a little crooked. So it needed a little bit of repair work there. And I'm just kind of going around. Believe it or not, this is 2 times normal speed. It wasn't a super long video anyway, so I figured I wouldn't speed it up too very much. I know sometimes in the longer videos, I do speed this up to like robot fast. But anyway, I know sometimes for me personally, I enjoy seeing both fast motion artwork and crafting projects, but I also sometimes like a little bit more slowed down pace so I can kind of get a better feel for what's going on. I did decide to go around the J with the brown marker to kind of pull it up off the back of that green paper. Not that they're the same color of green, but I feel like it looks a little bit more finished off with that dark border versus another green border. All right, so we're almost done. I am going to put the second half of that 12 by 12 sheet of pattern paper onto the back of my art journal page. I know usually when I do this, it is for the Artsy Trio pages that I create, because the first page I did was super messy, and so I did that to clean up the back and just started doing that. I think I just kind of forgot what I was doing, because most of the time for Mission Inspiration, I don't do that, but I don't know. It's okay. because I like the green paper. And this way I have used it, and I've used it in a way that I can continue to look at it and love it and appreciate it. And it's not just sitting in a drawer or a shelf in my craft room and waiting to be admired, right? Because I've got to use my things. I've got so much paper, I'm going to still be paper crafting long after the zombie apocalypse has occurred. Seriously, I have so much paper. I am going to trim this down with my super long Tim Holtz shears. These are the really, really long ones that I purchased from Hobby Lobby a couple of months back when they were on sale. They're rare time when Tim Holtz things were on sale. And I really do love these scissors. They are worth the pennies. That is for sure. Okay, next step, I need to punch the holes in the back side of that page now. But then I decided, hey, wait a minute. I am going to dirty up the edges a bit. So I pulled out my potting soil archival ink. And I did that because the back side of that green paper was white and it was very, very visible. And I was not appreciating that kind of white border. I think I wanted it to blend just a little bit more or be darker, less highlight, more shadow. So I pulled out the potting soil, and then I decided I was going to use this green archival ink. Let me see, what color is it? Fern green. It is fern green. It is not jade green. It is fern green. But that's okay, because it's green. And green, like I said, is my bestie. Okay, so I'm just kind of going over the potting soil with the green. I kind of felt like maybe that would tone it down a little bit, because that fern green is kind of bright, and it did. It toned down that fern green enough that it kind of sort of goes together. So now I am all done with my page. I edited out the part of me punching in the holes because you didn't want to see that again. And I have Jewel and Jeans and Jade, and I'm going to adhere my prompt card, that's the word I was looking for, prompt card, to the back of my page, and then my page is complete. One thing I did forget to do was date it and sign it, so I did that off camera. You might see that in the pictures, you might not. I try not to make it very obvious. It's just there for me to remember when. That's all. All right, so this is my mid-month mini mission for the Mission Inspiration Facebook group for June 2022. And I think it was kind of cheeky going Jewel on Jewel and Jeans, but you know, that's just me. Let me know, is that too cheeky? Just cheeky enough? Leave me a comment, leave me a thumbs up. I have added a couple of other videos here for you to watch, as well as a subscribe button. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did. Also, click the notifications, that way you know when I upload new content. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a really fabulous, fabulous day.